It was Christmas time on the island of Sodor. The drivers, firemen, and the guards, along with the Fat Controller, had been at home eating Christmas dinner and opening Christmas presents. But now the holiday was over, and Thomas and his friends knew they would be very busy. All over the island of Sodor, aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews, and nieces were all preparing to say goodbye to their families and return to their own homes. The bigger engines, such as Gordon and Henry, would have to pull extra carriages that day, but they didn't mind. It was good to have steam in their boilers again, and to move into the crisp, cold air.
Oh yes, it's great to be an engine and go steaming along. A puff, puff, puffing along. A beep, beep, beeping along. All the people waiting as you speed along. A puff, puff, puffing along all day. We're all so proud to be famous engines and travel through the countryside. We're always brave when there's hills to climb. No mountain is too high. Oh yes, it's great to be an engine as you're steaming along. A puff, puff, puffing along. A beep, beep, beeping along. Fly along the rails as your wheels go round. Whiz, whiz, whizzing around all day. It doesn't matter, come rain or shine, there's always things for us to do. And in the cold, cold winter time, we're ready. When you light the fire and stoke the butter, and we'll be there for you. Oh yes, it's great to be an engine as you're steaming along. A puff, puff, puffing along. A beep, beep, beeping along. Feel the wind around you as you push along. A puff, puff, puffing along all day.
Just think how wonderful it would be to live on the magical island of Sodor, helping Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends all day long. It would be like a dream come true. If only I could be an engine too.
Oh yes, it's great to be an engine as you're steaming along. A puff, puff, puffing along. A beep, beep, beeping along. Fly along the rails as your wheels go round. A puff, puff, puffing along all day. Oh yes, it's great to be an engine and go steaming along. A puff, puff, puffing along. A beep, beep, beeping along. All the people waiting as you speed along. A puff, puff, puffing along. A beep, beep, puffing and puff, puff, puffing and steam around all day.
Thomas watched all the engines puff away. Soon it would be his turn. But just then he realised that his driver hadn't arrived, and neither had his fireman, along with no coal being in his firebox. His two coaches, Annie and Clarabelle, shivered and grumbled in the shed. What could be the matter, puffed Thomas. Just then Bertie the bus arrived. Hello, Thomas. Are you too tired to go out today? This made Thomas cross. No, I am not too tired. I'm waiting for my instructions. In fact, I've been waiting for hours. It's not good enough. When I see the Fat Controller, I shall say so. Thomas? But Thomas was too cross to listen. I didn't mean to crash into the station master's house last year when he was eating breakfast, and I've already promised I won't fall down a mine again. So why doesn't he believe me? Thomas, I think there's something you should know. Just wait till I see him. And then Thomas did. The Fat Controller, wearing a brand new top hat, stepped off the bus. I did try to warn you, said Bertie. Thomas was sorry at once for being so cross. He thought he would be in trouble again. But the Fat Controller would not have seemed to have heard Thomas complaining. Good morning, Thomas. Did you have a good rest over the Christmas holidays? He asked. Yes, thank you, sir. I'm glad, because I have some very important work for you. With all the bad weather we have been having, a lot of Christmas mail has been delayed, and is arriving from the mainland late this evening. Percy will be waiting for you at Tidmouth, but he won't be able to pull the post train on his own, so I think he could do with some help. This afternoon I would like you to go to Tidmouth Station. Tom Tipper will be waiting for you and will load sacks of letters and parcels into Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas felt very proud. He had never been given so much responsibility. Soon his driver and fireman arrived, and they set off for Tidmouth Station. The postmen were waiting for them, just like the Fat Controller said they would be. Percy was very excited to see his friend. "How about a race, Thomas?" peeped Percy. "Oh, I don't know, Percy. The mail is too important to take risks," said Thomas. "Don't worry. I know this route as well as I know my own buffers." As soon as the mail was loaded and his driver given instructions to where the mail was to be delivered, Thomas started to leave. "You can't catch me," tooted Percy, and he rushed out of the station. Unfortunately, the cold weather had iced up the points. Percy sped into the siding and landed in the coal pit. "Oh no!" cried Percy. "What are we going to do?" puffed Thomas. Tom Tipper telephoned the Fat Controller at home. It was very late, and the Fat Controller was just about to go to bed. Nervously, Tom explained the situation, and as he finished he said, "So I'm afraid Percy's been rather naughty. What do you think we should do, sir?" The Fat Controller was still in a good mood after Christmas. "I won't be able to arrange a crane until tomorrow, so tell Thomas he will have to do his best to deliver all the mail by himself," he said. And as for Percy, the Fat Controller started laughing. "Accidents will happen, I suppose. Oh, oh, oh."
Thrills and spills on the railway, it's a lap of happiness. But sometimes impatience can lead to carelessness. Some think they are smart cats and some just know it all. But sooner or later we all find out that accidents happen now and again. Just when you least expect, just when you think that life is okay, fate comes to collect. Accidents happen now and again. When people on trains get smart, you don't concentrate on the thing that you're doing. Accidents will happen just like that. Presley plans can turn upside down if you get too confident. Sometimes you will slip and slide if that's Ladyluck's intent. One minute you're running high, the next you're on the ground. But please remember, whatever the weather, you must take care, 'cause accidents happen now and again. Sometimes just by chance, you gotta pick yourself up and dust yourself down, put it down to experience. Accidents happen now and again. Just don't take it all too hard. If you don't concentrate on the things that you're doing, accidents will happen just like that. The warning signs are there for us to see most of the time, but sometimes we take chances, ignore the danger signs. Fate can surprise you with no reason or rhyme. Make sure you learn your lesson, you'll know better next time. Accidents happen now and again, just when you least expect, just when you think that life is okay, fate comes to collect. Accidents happen now and again, when people on trains get smart. If you don't concentrate on the thing that you're doing, accidents will happen just like that. Accidents happen now and
people think that you're drunk. Whatever you're doing is not what you're thinking.
Tom Tipper returned and he told Thomas what the Fat Controller had said. Will you be able to manage that, Thomas? I should think so. Yes, I'm sure we will, won't we, Annie and Clarabelle? But Annie and Clarabelle didn't feel so sure, as dozens of letters and parcels were transferred from the mail train into them. They're very heavy, complained Annie. I'm full, puffed Clarabelle. Percy is silly, they snapped. But Thomas then remembered the time one winter where he wouldn't wear a snowplow and ended up stuck in a snowdrift. Don't be too hard on him, he said. We all make mistakes. Soon, all the post had been transferred into Annie and Clarabelle. Then Tom Tipper explained carefully to Thomas's driver the places where the mail had to be dropped off to be collected the next morning and then delivered through the letterboxes. Are you sure you'll be alright now, Thomas, as this is a very important job? Of course, Tom. We'll be alright, puffed Thomas. His fireman stoked his boiler and the driver opened the valve. Thomas's wheels started turning, and with much creaking and groaning from Annie and Clarabelle, they moved slowly forward. Whew, it really is heavy, panted Thomas. Fortunately, the first part of the track out of the station was downhill, and before long they were making good time, and the stars shone brightly in the winter sky. Thomas worked hard all night. Surprisingly, Annie and Clarabelle worked hard and enjoyed themselves too. And when Thomas stopped for water, the two coaches fell fast asleep. Shall we wait a while, yawned Thomas's fireman. I'm tired too. We can't, puffed Thomas. We have to deliver all the posts before people wake up in the morning. Just then, Thomas's driver looked up at the sky. There was not a star to be seen. We'd better get a move on, he said. I think a snowstorm is on its way. Reluctantly, Annie and Clarabelle woke up, and Thomas and the mail train made great time. But even so, dawn was breaking by the time they got back to the engine sheds. The Fat Controller was waiting for them. Well done, everyone, he said. Make sure you get a good sleep now. We should have a crane to get Percy back on the rails tomorrow, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to go back on the rails tonight. That's all right, sir, puffed Thomas. We enjoyed ourselves, didn't we? But Annie and Clarabelle were sound asleep. Good night, Thomas. Or is it good morning? Then, Thomas looked out of the window and it was starting to snow. I must remind my driver to fix all my snowplow when he comes back. Then, Thomas fell happily asleep.
The silence, the bright afterglow. Now there's a surprise. Oh, for what do you know? It's snowing. Look, it's snowing. Little old Jack Frost has been busy last night. The island of Sodor is a blanket of white, 'cause it's snowing. Yes, it's snowing.